Hi everyone, what is going on? My name is Jamie Palmer and welcome to another episode with the Binary Destroyer. Now firstly, I'd like to apologise, I haven't made any videos in a couple of days. I have just returned back from my travels around Ukraine. Now normally when we have a week away from the charts and the office, the first few days on when we come back, it's a little bit crazy and busy with catching up with emails, codes and just generally what's been going on in the market. Now yesterday was Training Wednesday and we organised a very special webinar with our BD members and we talked about market structure with the Binary Destroyer. Now as soon as that webinar ended, I had a personal webinar with one of our full-time traders and he showed me his scalping strategy using the Binary Destroyer. Now I don't know if you've seen my previous videos where I was talking about the pullback and crossover using the 1 hour charts. Well, he is actually using this on the 1 and 5 minute charts and he's been having incredible results of it. I mean, to the point he's making quite a large amount of money with it. He is a full-time trader, so you know he is going to have a large account. But it was just fascinating watching him trade it, especially on the 1 minute charts, because most professional traders, most traders that are trading with large lot size don't necessarily scalp in the 1 minute charts. They're normally on the, you know, the higher time frames, the 4 hour, 1 hour, and such like that. You know, they're not really scalping the 1 and 5 minute charts. So it was really interesting to see how he does it. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try today. Now, this is nothing new. This is literally just the crossover and pullback. But, you know, I was watching him do it and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try myself. Now, as you can see, in the top left corner, we've got the pullback modes off and on. And as you can see here, this is basically the normal Binary Destroyer rules. Now if you turn both of these on, so pullback mode on, we get something like this. Okay, now what this particular member was doing was basically just entering on a crossover, so something like this. Okay, if I just draw it up now, you'll know this strategy. This is nothing new. Okay, as you can see, white line on top, on bottom signifies uptrend. We cross over here, white line goes on top. What does that mean? Downtrend. So as you can see, we trend down, pull back, and we got a beautiful signal arrow right in the middle of this zone here, which is exactly where we take the trades. Now what he was doing is just putting a stop loss above the moving average and having like a 1 to 2 risk-free row target, something like this. Stop loss here, take the trade here, and that was his take profit down here. Now what he was doing to compensate some of his losses was kind of, I wouldn't say hedging, but let's say that he took a trade here. What he would then do is take a trade again when the price entered the zone here. Okay, waited for both of these trades to go into the money and then closed it. Now his stop loss for both of these trades would have been above the moving average. So if both of these trades went to his stop loss, obviously that would be his loss. But when I was watching him trade it, I thought, you know what, that's a very fascinating way, because when you trade the Binary Destroyer, okay, everyone has their own little kind of input, their own little rhythm with the indicator. You know, some like to kind of fine tune their skills and strategy, and it's really fascinating watching people do this. I mean, I'll give you an example. I've got one trader, or one full-time trader, who literally, and I'm not kidding you this, he literally martingales every single arrow that's with the trend. Like literally, that is all he does with binary, and he's having great success with it. When he first told me about it, probably January, February time, you know, I was kind of just skeptic, you know, ignored it like everyone else sort of says they come up with these strategies. And yeah, he's still going strong with it. Now he uses a 3-step martingale. So basically every time an arrow appears with the trend, he will take a trade. If it loses, he'll martingale it, and he will use a 3-step money management. Now after that 3 steps, if he loses it, that's it, he'll walk away. And he says on average over a 1 month period, he will hit around 1, 2 or maybe 3 losses, but over the majority of that month he will always end in profit, because obviously he's you know, martingaling his losses. He does get a couple of losses, but the amount of wins he has obviously overrules the losses, and each month he's making consistent gains, which is again really impressive. Not something I do, you know, I don't take just arrows and I don't martingale my trades, but again, it's fascinating just watching people and how they trade. You know, once you find your rhythm and your flow, everything just becomes a bit more simpler. So I thought I would give this a go on demo. Again, I'm going to be scalping this on ctrader, okay, because obviously I find ctrader just a bit more easier and quicker than MT4, especially when you're scalping the charts. Now, I'm going to be setting this both to the 1 minute charts. Now, just remember everyone, I haven't traded this strategy in a long while, okay? So again, you know, this is, I wouldn't say something new to me, but just something that you know, I don't often trade. As you know me, I'm a more of a binary trader. I do scalp the markets, but I'll only scalp if I've got a spare few hours to kill on the charts. You know, 9 times out of 10 when I am trading binary on the charts. So I'm going to set all my charts to the 1 minute time frame, and then hopefully we can get some setups and then obviously break them down, take the trades live in front of you and just see how it goes, and obviously we can explain as they come. So I'm going to turn all of these pullback modes on like this, okay, and again this is on. For some reason, why are my charts like this? This is rather odd. Right, okay, so we've just got a crossover here, which is rather interesting, okay. In fact, what I need to do is actually just make everything like this. There we go, you can actually see it better. Okay, 1 minute charts on. Okay, we're good. In fact, I missed a setup here. Look at that. This setup here, look, this was, I always seem to miss these setups, okay, look. This is exactly the setup he took, right? You wait for a crossover here, enter on the first green arrow, which was here, because this would be with the trend. Now, this here, if he'd set a stop loss here, for instance, okay, and then I had a 1 to 2 target. So let me just give you an example here. You would have waited for the crossover, got in on this green arrow here, and this would have been something like, I don't know, what's that? Something like a 6 pip stop loss, and his take profit was, wow, 35 pips. That would have been a nice, definitely a nice winner there. So that was a setup he would have took. We're crossing over here as well, which is good. AUD as well, another setup that I like, and USD CAD as well is going down. So really the only setup at the minute that looks like it's going to cross over at any minute now is AUD USD. So again, with this, I'm waiting for a crossover to happen of the white and green zone. So something like here, okay, entering on the first green arrow, which would have been here. Again, stop loss at the bottom here, which would have been something like, I don't know, 6 pips, and then his take profit again way up there with 12 pips. So again, what I also like to do as well is just check the 5 minute charts. You see how we're with the trend on the 5 minute charts. This is technically an uptrend. He was using just price action and having an idea on what we were doing, and as you can see, using my knowledge, I can see that we are rejecting from this level heavily. Price has gone sideways and then crashed down, so we might do something like this now. So yeah, I'm looking for a sell trade, everyone, on the 1 minute charts on AUD USD. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bore you for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to pause the video, come back when I get a setup. So I'll be back. Hi everyone, right, so I've actually got a sell setup on USD Chef 1 minute charts. Okay, as you can see, we're broken below our previous trend because white line was on bottom, signifying uptrend. We've crossed over, gone into a downtrend. Now this will be our first signal arrow, so I'm just gonna enter, like I said, this is just, I'm just testing it, you know, it's nothing too serious. So I'm just gonna set a take profit of 10 pips. In fact, the signal arrow's just disappeared. Oh, it hasn't. Okay, and I'm going to sell when that candle closes. I will enter a trade now. Okay, so I'm in a trade, as you can see here. Okay, just, you know, not be too serious. Now, what he also did after this, okay, is because this is a very small pullback. I can see here price is really trended down. You'll see it better on the 5-minute charts how price has really crashed down. Okay, so I am likely to see a larger pullback happening here. Okay, now if I go back over to the 1-minute charts, okay, I am anticipating, now this is what this guy would do, is, you know, we've entered a trade here. If the price goes higher, okay, so it comes up to like this zone here and then starts to reverse, he will then enter another sell trade here. So he'd have 2 positions open and then obviously close them when they hit take profit down here. If the price carries on going up and then doesn't go any breaks above the white, then he will close both of these trades in a loss. But at the minute, this is currently 2.8 pips in profit. Now, I can't remember my take profit was 5 pips, I think it was. No, 10 pips. I think it was 10 pips. I haven't used ctrader in a long while, which is, yeah, 10 pips. So I've set my take profit at 10 pips. I haven't actually set a stop loss at the minute. I'm just testing to see how far it actually goes. But at the minute, okay, we are 3.6 pips. And just to show you that I haven't took any previous trades, look at the history. Okay, this is the history for everything. It's a brand new, fresh demo account. So we'll see how we get on with this. Maybe this is something to scalp. As we can see, I'm almost 4 pips now in profit. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll go to 10 pips, who knows. So what I'll do, everyone, is I'll set this like this now, and I shall be back in an update in a couple of minutes. So I shall be back. Hi everyone. So yes, my trade has actually just hit take profit, as you can see there, a nice 10.5 pips made. Now yeah, price went sideways for quite a while before initially just dropping. Now look at that big drop. So you could have actually used an open stop loss with an open take profit with this, and obviously just use a trailing stop and ride this down. Now yeah, that's pretty much exactly all he was doing. Obviously if the price had gone against him, let's say price had come up here, okay, he would have entered another sell trade here. So obviously we would have a trade there, a trade here, and then waited for both of them to hit take profit. Obviously if the price did go higher than the white moving average, then he would have killed his losses. But as you can see, you know, if that was live, that would have been a nice 1 or 2% gain on an account. Okay, so pretty impressive. There's not really anything else that's happening. I mean, we had a setup here on gold, but I didn't like the initial crossover here. You notice how we crossed over here, crossed over here. These are setups that you would personally avoid. I mean, if you took this trade here, okay, let's say what was that, went to 11 pips, but your take profit would have been 40 pips, you know, so that trade would have won, but it would have been a bit messy. Again, you might have entered here, but I wouldn't have took this setup whatsoever, mainly because we've crossed over here and crossed over here. Apart from that, nothing really else is on the charts. I was eyeing up USD CAD, wasn't I, originally? But if you look on USD CAD on the 1-minute charts, no, was it? It was AUD USD. Yeah, it was AUD USD. This was it. So we had that original break below here, and I thought we were going to cross over, but in fact we didn't. We just carried on in an uptrend. So yeah, as you can see, that is that strategy. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, drop me an email, thebinarydestroyer@gmail.com. Thank you.